Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about how to set up the Google Postmaster feedback loop. So let's actually talk about what this loop is typically. So a typical feedback loop in email, it's typical example is like when someone clicks on your email or opens it, you get the click-through rate or open rate, and that's how you get those metrics. And then again, like if they will click or mark an email as spam, that's how you get the spam rate back. So with Yahoo and Microsoft, for example, when someone marks your email as spam, it comes back as this user reported your email as spam. Google does not do this though. Google does not identify the actual individual subscriber that marked it as spam, so it's a little bit different kind of loop. It's more general. So Google expects you to be a good sender, which you should be. So what they do is they will send you something like this. They will do aggregate data. They will not send you individual spam complaints. They protect the individual data. So what you do is basically you set up your Gmail Postmaster tools, which you probably already have done, but if you haven't, just do that. You just follow Google steps to create your Postmaster account. So if I click this link, this is really a guide from InboxAlly on how to set up the loop. It's in text form, but we're just going to do that on video here. But basically you click here, go to Postmaster tools, and it will take you through the whole setup of claiming your domain, like this is my domain, create your Postmaster account, set up ownership and all that kind of stuff. And in order to implement this loop that we're going to talk about, Gmail requires you to insert a header called feedback ID. Okay, so all of this feedback loop is going to be implemented through your email headers. So it's necessary to add this feedback ID line in your email header, and the method is going to vary. It depends on your ESB or SMTP provider that you're using. But basically, once you have your email open, okay, you're going to be following this format, okay? So it will be feedback ID, A, B, or C value, and sender ID, all right? So this will be your feedback ID. So what are these three fields? A, B, and C are fields. These are optional fields, so you can also just like not have them there at all. I can't think of a scenario where you would need all three values, but these are optional fields, and they can be campaign or customer or other. Okay, so it can be a value that you think of, and they change based on what you are wanting to track. So for example, I am wanting to track a campaign that I feel or I can see from my metrics that after I started doing this campaign that my spam rate increased a lot. So I want to track a current campaign and track a campaign that has been previously working well. So I will give it a campaign name in the header, all right, for that campaign, and for the other campaigns I'll use a different campaign name so that it's different and I can track it. And so these are the three optional fields, and then there is the sender ID, all right? So this is a mandatory unique identifier that you choose, all right? The only thing with this is that it should be consistent across the whole mail stream. All right, so then again, this guide, which is from InboxAlly, it goes into examples of campaign names, examples of identifiers. These A, B, and C, they can be campaign name, segment name, like for example, like all of the universities that I'm sending to, for example, or all of the new senders, all right, or mail type name is the second, or customer type. So mail type can be like all of my newsletters. I use just the one identifier. So here's an example of the ID, the feedback ID.
So holiday 33, that's the feedback ID, and new customers, and then is example.co, which is my sender ID. So it's just like I'm tracking new customers, and that's my sender ID, or I'm tracking this thing, and this is my sender ID. Also, it's just nothing is going to display if you leave out the sender ID. So like these are optional, A, B, and C, but sender ID is mandatory to track this. All right, and as we saw, this information will then show up or start to show up in your user reported spam graph in the Postmaster dashboard. All right. And that's it. That's how you set up the feedback loop. It will take some time. It's not going to start reporting as soon as you set it up. There are 3 things that I wanted to mention. First one is, before you even start any of this feedback loop stuff, just make sure you have your SPF, DKIM, reverse DNS settings already set up. You have your Google Postmaster domain, Postmaster tools set up. So that's like the basic stuff. The second thing is, you'll only be able to set up this feedback loop if you are a large volume sender. This is what Google says. Funny thing is, they never actually tell you what they consider a large volume sender. So you kind of have to figure that out. If you are a large volume sender, if you aren't a large volume sender, this shouldn't really matter much anyway. So they don't tell you the number, but it is what it is. The third thing is, not every SMTP provider is going to be able to let you do a custom header. So just make sure before you start to implement this or think about implementing it, just ask your SMTP provider that you can actually edit headers, because there are some actually really expensive ones and popular ones out there that don't let you do that. So just make sure you can actually do this before you start. And that's it. Thank you for following along, and for other how-to videos, check out the rest of our YouTube channel.